Hello, everyone. My name is Priti Mundra. I'm the co founder of Smaller Footprint, where we believe in taking good steps for the environment, which are also good for us. And we are going to talk about one such good step today, which is bioenzymes. You all would have heard a lot about it, but then there are a lot of people who want to adopt it but hesitate due to some or the other reason. And today we have a very special guest with us today, Priti Rao, who has been not only an early adopter of this, but has been promoting it at such a larger scale and creating impact. So she's the founder of Bio-Enzyme Entrepreneurs Academy of India, and she's also the founder of Soil and Soul. Both the organizations have been instrumental in promoting bioenzymes. For those who don't know about bioenzymes, it is an effective reuse of your kitchen discards and a lot more. Priti Rao has been practicing sustainability for almost 2 decades. She is a trained pilot, a black belt karate, and also yoga trainer from Bihar School of Yoga. Thank you so much, Priti Rao, ma'am, for joining us here and helping us and helping more and more people adopt and move towards a sustainable living journey. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Priti.
We'll first like to start with where did all this started? Like your personal sustainability journey. Although I read somewhere around 2007 when you were back in India, but let us understand more like where it started, how it started, what forced or what inspired you towards the multiple things you are doing today to make the lives of other people and the surroundings around better.
Yeah, it's a big journey, I can say, and yeah, it is a long path what I have walked, and of course, it is not alone. A lot of people have joined, they helped, and uh, as your organization, the good steps or the smaller footprints, it's exactly the way it has gone. And I feel any change, if we want to adopt in our life, it has to be gradual and it has to be a smaller step. Then you sustain the step. The changes are something which uh, it is inevitable, but to bring that change permanently, it's a lot of effort. It is a lot of effort. Now, how it all started, it's all started with the bin, which was in everybody's house, and it stinks when it is not taken by XYZ, for a few days. And everybody complains about it. And so for me, the trigger point was that when I saw these women who are coming and picking up the waste, door-to-door waste collection, uh, and I saw the way people were dumping in their cart, and she was getting irritated because the way things were handled. I mean, it's a human psychology, and it for anyone it will irritate the way you just come and dump things, and so and also like a lot of thought came into my head, and it was not that it's a problem of that lady who's collecting, or it is a problem of the resident who are giving the waste. It is just the way we handle it. So that took some time for me to understand. And I had quit my job. It was like wanted to do something which will keep me going till I'm there on earth. So all this was small point which kept triggering, and I wanted to be a part of the solution rather than a part of the problem. You keep dump your food or dump your food waste somewhere outside to somebody, and then that person is struggling, and then it goes to the landfill. You see the entire cycle, and mindlessly we throw, and in between, the people, if they don't do the work efficiently, then another problem arises. So, it's always good to decentralize things. And I was not ready to be part of the landfill because I feel that land, which is supposed to grow food for us, is actually killing our groundwater, the air there. So these were the lot of these points which triggered me, and I felt whatever I have studied till now, and if I don't use it practically in my life, it's going to be waste. So I wanted definitely those days it was swimming against the current. Since I was a flyer, I used to fly aircraft. So it was like, it was shocking news for everybody around me, where you were and what you want to do. I said, come on, this is the problem we have. And how can we just, and if something is hurting, I would rather do something about it, right? Or just sit and ignore and keep cribbing. उसने ये नहीं किया इसने ये नहीं किया there's no point cribbing about it. We need to take certain thing in our hand, and if something is really disturbing we would rather take that one step at least towards that and start solving that problem. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like this approach of like if something is bothering you, you have to move towards that solution. It can be a small step, but something which you can follow consistently over the
Ah,
period.
right.
So when did you come across bioenzymes? So in India, like a lot of people started making and talking about it, especially during the COVID time. But I
Mm,
understand it has been in existence for more than almost 2 decades now.
yeah,
So
yeah.
how did your journey towards bioenzyme and bioenzyme making start?
It's again, yeah. So as I said, I was when all this thing came to my head that, I can't be part of this garbage creator, and I started composting at home. So half the things were taken care by my composter, and I started growing my food. And we used to grow actually. Once upon a time, I was growing 40 varieties of vegetables on my terrace, and 25 varieties of herbs. So, and it was not less. I mean, and the garden was not that huge, but I utilized the entire space. My terrace was my lab, open lab those days. So there I felt, if I put my citrus, so it was actually giving me an issue with my crop. And also when I started managing my wet waste, the containers were still there, the things what we buy from outside. And that was definitely, I didn't know how efficiently recycling is happening. So again, I did think about, how do I get rid of that? And uh, so all these, again, there were multiple things, it's a kind of awareness or consciousness what talks or takes action. So I started looking into what do I do with my lemons if I don't want to throw out? What do I do with Mosambis if I don't want to throw? And started reading about it. And I started also, those days the Bangalore lakes started getting fired, and
Right.
that it was lathering. It was a news in the entire nation. And that was the time I saw Yamuna is getting lathered. So
Yeah.
again, and when you see the development which is continuously happening, the making of big, big buildings, and the drainage system is directly being left into the lake, which is causing it. When we see it's all lathering up, things are happening because of the chemicals which is
The
flowing from
chemicals. Yeah.
my home, from my own drain. So, you don't need to be a activist to bring the change. Uh, anybody can bring the change in ecology just sitting at home also. So this was another step which made me discover and read and read and read about the enzymes. And that time I came across uh, uh, this video of Dr. Join. So Dr. Join is from Malaysia. So looking at her video, I learned, oh my God, this can do this can do this. And then, I mean, from there the experiment started, and gradually I started removing uh, the toxic chemicals from my home, and that's how the bottles and the plastics also came down. And definitely there's a major role played by my family who really supported. It is not very easy for anybody to
Right.
accept it. So my child was very small those days, but I had to keep telling him, see, you the biscuits are not okay for you. It's full of sugar, the packaged food and all that. So for me, the teaching was more important, so that again, he also accepts the things. So from there, the journey started again, the teaching and they are talking at home and getting those soap nuts at home and started. And I used to make the lather in front of everybody so that, you make out, okay, yeah, this also lathers and this will clean your clothes, this can clean your vessels. Uh, the, I had to do it in front of everyone. And enzyme I started making it inside the kitchen, so people need to understand it doesn't stink.
Yeah.
It is a good, and the process I wanted every family member to go through the process so that they understand how good it is. And acceptability, adaptability, it definitely takes time, but once you decide, it happens. I think everything plays around that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that family support thing which you mentioned, so that really is, in fact, my question was going to be, was there any resistance from the family in the initial adoption? But great to know that everything came together in this place together. And
Mhm.
one very interesting thing, normally the food waste, whenever the discussion is there, it comes to stops at composting only. But making something out of that, when you put it in one more reuse, you are
Mhm.
in fact also reducing your chemical exposure and also, of course, the containers and all which we buy otherwise.
Yeah,
So
right.
it has like multiple reduction and reuse benefits which are there.
Absolutely. And I find there is no negative thing which we can discard out of it. First of all, I'm using my kitchen waste to generate this, make the products out of it. And then, when we make it, it releases the oxygen, so it doesn't stink. So, again, you're doing a plus point there. And at the end of it, yes, there are n number of uses of bioenzyme. So, yeah, from there it started. It went to schools, it went to colleges, it went to so many communities and so many self-help groups. So the journey is still on and I'm enjoying it. And believe me, from the time I've started, every day is a different day. And every day I meet beautiful people. And today I'm meeting you and I'm so glad about it. The bioenzyme connected us.
Yes, of course. In
Yeah.
fact, my journey with bioenzymes started as like one of my first steps towards sustainable living, and I was inspired by your the write-ups which talked about the work which you were doing, and that's how it all started. So, bioenzyme, like although people normally talk about only the citrus peels and the cleaning as the cleaners, so how has the evolution from that time till now, because now we are also talking about applications in agriculture and all that, and also using the other fruits and other vegetables as well.
Yeah.
So tell us little more about that.
Yeah, so these are all the learning process. So when I got connected with Dr. Joanne, she connected me to some scientists who have done some research in India, and I was actually happy. I went all the way to Malaysia, to Penang, to meet her after a few years. It was very difficult to get in touch with her because they're not in social media. So I had tough time getting in touch with them. But so she's the one who gave me a lot of ideas. I used to make those small balms those days, so I gave her as a gift that, I made it. Then she asked me, is there an enzyme in your balm? I said, in balm? What enzyme, And that was a time when I started learning, lot and lot of learning. And mm, it's citrus was yeah, so we were the initial ones who started promoting citrus bioenzyme. It was for the simple reason we knew it will, you can make enzymes from so many vegetables, so many other flowers and all that, but we didn't promote it because moment you said nimbu in India, no, we all know it can do multiple tasks.
Agree.
We thought the adaptability will be easier in our country. So citrus was just the way, I can say the way to change the mindset. But yeah, so like there are so many people when they started learning, we started exploring, we started sharing more of other things. So yeah, so now it is used in or I can say the applications we are trying it on a very large scale on a lot of projects.
So yes, of course, the adaptation has to be easier for people to start the journey. So sometimes from a use case perspective, if when we talk about the cleaners which has lesser chemicals or no chemicals at all, so how does bioenzyme versus the vinegar which is there or a baking soda which is there, again other common elements which are available and are better than the complete chemical thing. So where do they stack up like in this? What's
Yes,
your
so
view?
see, this bioenzyme is just one, I can say, initiative. Now, when we say the smallest footprints or the small steps, you can't just climb on top on the, with the first step. It has to be gradual change. So when people know about the vinegar or when people know about the baking soda, so that awareness, the toxicity of the chemical which we are using, so they got aware of that. Yes, it is not doing anything good, so I have a better alternative. So let me try that. There were so that awareness and then the action happens. So I feel the vinegar, it is not that it is bad, it is doing a good job, it does the good job, but acceptance I'm talking about. And bioenzyme is not just about the cleaners. It
Yes.
also a lot of value addition. The more you drain out in your drain, you're cleaning up the sewage water. It's lot of the responsibility. It is lot about the again, the adaptability definitely comes. It's also about how are we using our kitchen waste or kitchen byproducts from the kitchen. So, all these kind of things are definitely there. And vinegar and baking soda is, and there are many other, like, the similar kind of options we have. This is again, you have to depend on the market. You go, you buy,
Okay.
and you bring it. Yeah. So, this is the way, that's how the difference is, I feel.
So when we make bioenzyme, we reuse whatever would have been discarded from the kitchen, the raw peels of our fruits and vegetables.
Mm,
But we need one additive to add in that.
mm,
So jaggery is most commonly used additive there.
mm.
So my first question to you is it possible to make bioenzymes without jaggery in case of any certain fruits or vegetables in your research and in your experimentation did you find? Because again, jaggery is an external ingredient. For
Yeah.
some people might be keeping it, although it is common,
Mm.
but outside India, it may not be a common thing.
Yeah.
So is there like, is it possible to make it without jaggery at all?
Yes, it is possible. And we have many members with our academy who are making enzyme without jaggery. Uh, and efficiency, we saw it is the same efficiency.
Okay.
It is cleaning, it is doing all that. Yeah, so research wise, we haven't done much in this line,
Okay.
but we will definitely looking forward to do more research. Now, the jaggery is just the food what we give it to microbes to multiply,
Correct.
right? And it is the sweetener. So the bioenzymes can be made by using honey, or it can be made by using sugar, or it can be made by using the sweet fruits like, dates and all that also can be done. So it
Okay.
is possible, yeah.
Okay. Because then one thing which is like if somebody doesn't want to get an external ingredient, but at the same time is willing. So good to know that that is also an option. They
Yeah.
can use the other options without it.
Yeah, so there are like, I can show you something. I mean, I don't know how it is
Uh,
here.
I
I
think
think I have
it's
to, it's okay.
uh, okay.
So there are ways of doing it, yes.
And it's like normally when you talk about talk with different communities, and for the audience, let me tell you that with the work which Priti Rao ji has led, it has impacted more than 1 million people and more than 2.5 lakh students. So when you initially talk about this, what is the common troubleshooting issues or the common challenges or maybe the perceptions people have which you're coming across, and how do we, and basically one is understanding what is the challenges they normally talk to you about, and secondly what is the kind of solution for those kind of challenges if somebody wants to adopt but is hesitant or has a challenge on a certain aspect. So
Yeah,
what is your
so
experience?
challenges are there, but I always believe, if somebody wants that change, they will do it at any cost. And if somebody doesn't want to do it, they will have hundreds and thousands of questions for not doing it or reasons for not doing it. So, it's like that. So it just doesn't matter. Initially, we used to get disappointed. You talk to 100 women and only two or three of them are making it. But then gradually we did understand, it is the mindset. So now under our Bioenzyme Council in Wiki, so we are taking up this as a project. So everybody has to go to meet 100 women. Either you make it, enzymes, you make and use it, or you start using the products, because we need to stop what is draining out of our home.
Right.
We need to one is that challenge. So even if you can't make it, people need to take that small effort to start buying those bioenzyme products and encourage the people also who are making. There are many entrepreneurs who are making, so they will also get support. So either you make them, make them make the enzymes. If they can't make it, it's absolutely okay, but start using it, because all of us are drinking the same water, we are breathing the same air. And I feel it's everybody's responsibility to take that small step.
So I would like to mention here for the audience, in case anyone is looking for getting this bioenzyme things implemented and trying to procure it at a large scale, I think BEA can assist in that. So they can get in touch with
Definitely.
the
Yes.
BEA, because BEA is one of the only structured way which has been put in place, which helps not only in creating awareness, but also enabling the people who are making it to reach a wider audience, so that you can get the products, you can get the expertise, and most important thing, which Priti Rao mentioned in the middle, was about the research. So bioenzyme people have been making for years, but to get the research, to get it collaborated with different universities and colleges, so that more and more facts and data is also available to support it. So, when you are interacting, like I think the school children is something which is very close to your interactions, because you feel like the adaptation there is much faster. How do you keep that momentum going? Because what happens is, yes, first when you interact for the few days, that inspiration and passion stays. But how do you keep that on a continuous basis, so that, say, those 2.5 lakh students who have been impacted, so the same journey towards this better making of the planet, sustainable practices, how does that continue?
So it is not just the enzyme when we go to school. We talk about the entire cycle. So we have this program called Zero Waste Campus, so where the children are involved in understanding the waste and managing the waste. And then, when you teach them about all these kind of things, so I feel they start looking waste as a resource, not waste as a waste. So how we, in one of the school, we did the project of handmade papers. So school has a lot of these waste, the papers, what they throw children, papers or the wooden, the pencil sharp wood and all those kind of things. So with all that and with enzyme, we did teach them to make the paper. And the children saw, the paper which is going into the dustbin, and the dustbin is going out. So they knew, now we don't have to throw it in the dustbin. Let us start collecting it and let's start changing the way papers are. So this was again a 1 year program. You talk about the various aspects of waste and how they are generating the waste, because we all know today, the society is like we all run after the children. So whatever the children demand, the parents, they try their level best to do for them. So children are the biggest consumer. So
Right.
so once we start teaching those consumers, we want a good citizen. We don't want good consumers for the good planet. Uh, So we need to teach them what to consume. How can they be a good consumer? How can they have a good or a little smaller carbon footprint for their need? What is their need? And are they getting what they want to do? So children actually adapted, instead of getting the chocolates to their school on their birthday, they started giving the dates or the some fruits, or there was a change in that. And I've seen them going to the coconut vendor and telling them, Uncle, why are you using the straw? Nahi chahiye hame straw. Aap hatao isko. Don't give it to anybody. So this is what children are fearless. And they are the change. So they have changed a lot of their parents, their approach. So they are very strong actually. Children are the boss. We just have to teach them what to do and what not to do. That's it.
So, on the research part, I think already a few research has already been initiated. Few research papers are also available. But typically, so far, is it on a particular type of enzyme? Like, what are the key findings, if you can share with us, in terms of like what type of enzymes and in terms of its efficacy versus the other cleaners? What is the research so far concluded, and what are the other kind of research initiatives broadly which we can expect to further support and for people to also uh, get more validation, because it's actually ironical, for the chemical cleaners nobody asks for the validation and all, but for adopting the best practices, because now with the awareness they also want to go that whether we are getting the what are the facts saying basically. So if you can tell
See,
us
there
a
are a
bit
lot
about.
of this enzyme itself is a very big subject, okay? And what I remember when I started learning about these enzymes, a lot of things what I studied in my eighth standard and ninth standard started bouncing on my head, that the protein, the enzymes can break down the protein into amino acids, and protein is nothing but the sequence of amino acid. This is what we learned it in our high
Yes.
schools, right? So now, when uh, and the entire world is made up of protein, whether it's our body or the plant or anything you see, or the germs or any living organism. This is just a protein. So what enzyme is doing is it's breaking down those things, whether it's the germs and or anything. So it breaks it down and disintegrates, and it's easy for earth or any other, to decompose in a easy way. Yeah. So enzyme is just doing that. And I'll just say in a simple word. So it is so we don't have to kill a lot of things, use the sanitizer and kill the germs, use this floor cleaner and kill the germs. And the COVID thing happened. I mean, this is my understanding again. Uh, See, we've been killing so many germs, and
Correct.
we just kill, and we have killed so many germs. There are a lot of good germs which we have killed. In fact, indeed, we have killed more of good germs than the bad germs, and the good germs are the one which creates the shield around us. Now, when these germs are killed, it is easy for any foreign body or any foreign, it's basically, I can say the immunity of the ecology itself has lost the balance. Now,
Right.
it's easy for any virus or any bacteria to penetrate into our ecosystem and cause the havoc. And we have seen it. Now, when small virus can change so many things, you can imagine if we create those lump of good germs around us, it can actually bring back the balance.
Right.
And these are, it's a very small, and we call it as a microbiome. So we need to create these microbiome to bring back the balance and ecology. So yeah, there are so much of imbalance has happened. So we need to bring it back. And I feel the ecology is incomplete without bioenzyme. because bioenzyme is the one which is creating the environment for it to work. Bioenzyme is the lump of those microbiome which is bringing the balance into it. And until unless we take care of our microbiome, our micro world, we cannot superficially bring the ecology in balance. And they will play, and there is nothing. I mean, at the same time, I also feel we shouldn't be fighting with too many things, because Earth knows what she has to do, and we just have to be supportive to her. She will do what she has to do to bring back her own balance. So the bioenzyme is like a supportive system to her.
Oh, absolutely. Like for our body also, we need certain microbes within our body to stay, to
Yeah,
enable the function. So similar
yeah,
thing is for the external environment also.
yeah,
With the extensive use of chemicals, we kill that
yeah.
balance which needs to be brought back.
Right.
So, what potential do you see for bioenzyme in terms of the commercial applications, industrial applications? So, one you mentioned about the sewage water treatment, which is there. So,
Mm.
and I suppose even in agri, it is gaining momentum. So, can you tell us about the common, other than cleaning, what are the other application areas which
Oh, the
is being?
applications are enormous. You just think of water and you add enzyme to it. So
Okay.
it's like that. So and it has been enhancing a lot of things. So whether it's a textile industry, whether it's a dyeing industry, whether it's a plastic recycling industry, whether it's any manufacturing industry, the place wherever we use water, the enzymes can add value to that. We tried the bioenzyme effect on air pollution, and we saw a very good result, around 65-75% of reduction in different areas. Now, this is if you ask me about the research has definitely not happened on this. But yeah, the validation has happened, and we got the result. We got the good result about it. Now, I see a very big potential here. And the pollution in Delhi, if we can handle it, and I think we can handle it anywhere in India. And every city is getting choked, either with the contaminated water or with the air pollution. These are the simple solutions, what I feel we can definitely, and nothing wrong in trying it out. And I keep talking, you give chance to bioenzyme. I mean, everybody's trying so many things. Why not we try? Just try this.
Yeah, at
And
least nothing will, I mean, it cannot have a negative impact.
absolutely,
Say if you, yeah, at least try it out and see what are the positivities it can bring.
absolutely, yeah. So now, in the last few years, we have tied up with IITs, few IITs who are helping us with a lot of research in this line. And I'm definitely, hopefully, looking forward to do more projects in this time. So during the lumpy, you know about lumpy?
Yeah, I've heard about it. Some animal
Yeah, the
disease.
cow skin disease. So after COVID, the lumpy had attacked our cows in India. So a lot of Indian cows had died during that time. And we tried using bioenzyme. And see, as I was talking about the destruction of our microbiome, our
Mhm.
my thing. So the any attack. I mean, I just took the same logic, what I was talking. If our microbes are not around us, the protective layer, anything will come and attack. So we did the same thing with the cows. We cleaned their gaushalas, we spread the enzymes on them. And, this actually, it just took 70 hours for them to recover. They were all dying. So some results are actually magical. And now, if you ask me, I'm not a scientist to give answer to all of these. So that's the reason we are approaching the institutes
You-
and colleges. So, you help us proving these kind of things, because the results we cannot ignore. The results
Right.
are showing, right? So we just have to look more and see how we can bring it to more applications in our country. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely. Uh, Ma'am, I'll request you to shift the camera a little. I think after you came back, it is
Okay.
little. Yeah. Okay, so now in the market, there's a growing trend towards products which are marketed as plant-based or fruit-based or natural cleaners. They're not calling it bioenzymes, but then I think somewhere they're writing it as fruit or plant-based kind of things. So what's your what is your view on that? Second, for a consumer, so when we are saying okay, you go for a something which doesn't pollute the water, so what are the things they should see there when make to avoid the greenwashing? Basically, they should
Yeah,
not get trapped in the greenwashing thing, but at the same time they make a better choice for
yeah.
the water bodies and surroundings.
Yeah. So there's nothing wrong. I wouldn't say it is wrong to use the plant-based or if they call it as a plant-based, because there are a lot of, when you launch a product in the market, we need to follow a lot of protocols, and a lot of things are not allowed to use it on the label. So people need to look out for an alternative words to bring
Okay.
it. And as far as it is uh, not harming any resources, it's fine. I mean, but stop that toxic chemical first. There are surfactant at different level, one, two, three, four. There is something called ESW, that is environment supportive group, people who are
Okay.
working on that. So they grade the surfactants.
Okay.
So, one in first grade, the soap nuts and enzymes and all that comes. The second grade, there are surfactant which is derived from the plant. But there are some four or fifth grade, or then those products are very cheap in market because they just dump it. And that is what is usually found in most of the products in our homes. And that is not just, I mean, it is. Not just harmful for us to use, but also it is killing our water system. Today, it's actually sad to see India is a country which has so many rivers and still we struggle to get good water. And it is a
Yeah.
kind of, it is a concern. Everybody need to understand this. And this all of us also agree that civilization started from the river banks, right? So people, we started staying next to the water flow earlier, and water would speak lot about us. And I think it holds good even today. The river which
Yeah.
is flowing in every city is speaking about the society sitting next to that. So all of
Absolutely.
us need to be consciously doing something about it. And the least what everybody can do is to start using those natural product or an alternative, not just pick up something from the shelf and use it because, or the media is playing a major role. So
Right.
not just get blown with that, use this and sparkling toilet and this and that and all that. So there are ways to handle, and this anybody can do it. But the massive change can happen when there are mass users. It could be hospitals, it could be the hotels, it could be, these laundries where a lot of industrial, I
Yeah.
mean, I can call
Yeah.
it industry level of waste only. So much is going into it. So we need to start, they also need to start adopting these kind of solutions.
So I think it's so wonderful to know about the different application areas as well as the kind of huge potential it has and in
Yes.
making the things around us better.
Yeah.
So my last question to you would be, what would be the top three tips for beginners who are trying to make their first bioenzymes? What would you recommend? Three things they should remember, like in terms of the mistakes people do sometimes initially, and then they stop doing it. They think aisa hi hota hai or something like that. So what would be your top three recommendation based on the experience over the decade? So what kind of mistakes can happen or what should an individual start with? So over to you.
See, the easiest way to adapt is the citrus one only. I would suggest आप पहले दिन ही नींबू या उसका नींबू का बनाएंगे तो it would smell better. So adaptability, the acceptance is better, and But first day, if you start using the onion and the garlic enzyme, you will not like it. We wouldn't like our home to smell like that, right?
Right.
So that is the way. So take the small, easier way out. First, start with a small bottle and see how it goes. And always, and a lot of tips are always there on net, and our academy is definitely there for the beginners till the advanced stage. And even if someone wants to take it up as a small business, so we are here to guide them, and that is how it is going. And it is change of mind. I will do it. It just doesn't happen overnight. The composting, lot of people don't do it. They have their own mindset, but until unless you do it, you will not know the challenges. We need to accept the challenge and then take it further. It is not that difficult. It is a beautiful journey and it is addictive. So recently I had gone to Punjab. So there we met one person. There's an old man, and the moment he saw me there, he said, I know you. I've seen you on your website and I've learned this. I make my own shampoo. I make my own laundry wash. And it was so sweet to listen to him. So it is that addictive. Anybody can get addicted to making enzymes. So it's a beautiful journey. So yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. It's a beautiful journey. And I think among the different steps which are there, it is a very simple step to take, which has a lot of impact. It won't
yeah,
take you more than 2 minutes to get started to make one, put the peels in a bottle and add water and jaggery and get started with your first bioenzyme. I'm sure all this discussion will inspire a lot of more people to know about it, to talk about it, and to act and start using either directly by making themselves or buying from the other people
yeah,
who are making it.
absolutely.
Thank you so much, Preeti Rao, ma'am, for sharing all this with us. And we'll keep on talking more about the new developments as it progresses. I mean, it's a very interesting field to know about and adopt. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Preeti. Thank you for having me here.
Yes.
Yeah.
And have a good day.
You too. Bye bye.
Okay, bye.